how are people supposed to manage situations like this?
Well, post-earthquake, usually the need for evacuation is for people to be safe because after evacuation, you expect aftershocks. And aftershocks will further weaken a building. Okay. So you need to go out. And the next step is to have it checked by a competent person, which is a civil engineer or structural engineer. There's such thing as structural triage, meaning sorting out if the victim, if the structure is safe. And that's the only time that you order, or the management orders, return to the building, return for work, return for occupancy. So that's the usual process that you do post-earthquake.
You know what worried me first thing in the morning, I was watching the news, and I saw an interview of one of our correspondents with the president. And he was saying, you know, I've seen so many earthquakes in this house. I've experienced so many earthquakes. And I've seen crack here in one earthquake, another new crack. And I'm like, that's not a good thing. You're the president of the Philippines. You're living in a house that's cracked, cracked with earthquake damage. I mean, should the president continue to stay in that house? I mean, he's not an ordinary person.
That's right. Well, you should be in the safest place in the Philippines, for that matter, being the president of the Philippines. And maybe, well, those remarks are remarks that you'll hear like in the 1980s, wherein we just accept disaster as it is. And we are in the age of disaster risk reduction and talking about disaster resiliency. So we cannot just accept that disasters just do happen. Yes, we cannot prevent earthquakes, but there's such thing as the practice of mitigation, meaning you can reduce the impact of a natural disaster. You cannot prevent it, but you can reduce the impact. And you can prepare for all of this thing. So I think with our president, you should be in the safest place in the Philippines, meaning free from not only security threats but from all of these natural hazards. That's why earthquake preparedness is very important. That we need how to survive. That's the immediate action drill, the duck, cover, and hold. And the next is how do we survive the next few hours and days when we are in the temporary shelters or we are in the open grounds. No? That's why we encourage families that they should have some sort of preparedness supplies. In the US, they have their go bags. But that's one of the things that I propose for every family is to recycle an old tarpaulin because that can be used as a tent, as a mat in evacuation area. So and with the extra food and the extra water that we teach for them to survive while waiting for government help. And maybe I've heard that the mayor is appealing for those who want to donate cement. And I would just like to say this, that the problem with earthquakes is that structure should be resilient. When we recover from disasters, we should use this triple B, BBB, build back better.
Build back better,
especially for government institutions, for hospitals. They should be the most resilient structure and priority should be given to those structures.